What's up, guys? It's Dave again here, and I'm back with another vlog because it's still too damn hot here in Central California to really get out and play. So I'm going to tackle today a topic that I've heard come up quite a bit lately, and looking forward to see what you have to say on the subject. And the topic is Airsoft a sport or is it a hobby? I've seen a lot of posts on the interwebs about this where people are arguing one way or another. And for me, I am going to weigh in on the topic, and I'm going to say that Airsoft is not a sport, but rather it's a hobby. And I've got three main reasons why I believe it is a hobby and not a sport. First off, before I go any farther, I will say that I do have 18 years of head coaching experience, so I do have a bit of insight on the sports side of things, having been in and around it just about most of my life or all of my life. So based on my own experiences in the coaching world with sports and obviously in the airsoft world from playing, here are my reasons. The first one is standardized rules. In any sport, you have one set of standardized rules that apply pretty much wherever you go. The sport that I coached was basketball, so I'm going to refer to that a lot. Traveling is traveling no matter where you go, unless you're playing in the playgrounds of New York City or somewhere else, Rucker Park. But no, double dribble, traveling. There's a standardized set of rules that no matter where you come from, where you play, for the most part, everybody's going to be on the same page on how you play the game as far as rules go. In airsoft, you can go to some fields and FPS is 350 feet. Some places it's 400 feet. Some places it's higher. Some don't even have them. You'll go to other arenas, like just here locally for me. CQB City has a 0 engagement distance. Game Pod, I believe, has 15 feet. Roundhouse Productions at Fort Ord, I believe theirs is 20. So my point being is depending on where you go, rules are going to be different. And because we don't have one centralized set of rules is one of the reasons why I don't feel that it has quite reached the level of sport. Another one is the game style. Obviously, there's so many different ways that you can play the game. You can have an elimination game. You could play speed soft. You could do, the mill sim, Terminator, which I don't know why anybody would play that game, but my point being is that there's so many different ways to enjoy this game of airsoft, which is a good thing. But again, if you're talking about sports are all kind of played the same way, no matter where you're at. And also, one other thing in that first standardized rules is that there's really no clear winner or loser. In basketball, at the end of the time period, which there is a time period, whoever's got the most points wins. In airsoft, love it or hate it or feel however you want, it's based on people calling their hits. We are not paintball. We don't have referees out there. So, sometimes having a clear winner or loser isn't always so clear, or, we always have the proverbial keyboard wars after a game on the internet, calling somebody out for doing something or whatnot. So, again, another reason why I don't think airsoft has quite reached the level of a sport. Another one is standardized equipment. When you are playing a sport, the goal is to have standardized equipment. Again, going back to basketball because that's what I know best. The rims are 10 feet. The size of the rims are fixed. The size of the basketball is fixed. If I play basketball here in America and I want to go to, say, China, they're gonna have the same equipment. The rim's still gonna be 10 feet. It's not like, it's 10 feet in America and 7 feet in China or 8 feet in Spain. Wherever you go, the equipment is standardized. And the reason why the equipment is standardized is to make the athlete themselves the variable. And as much as we like to think that sometimes that we are the variable, there's a clear difference if I went out into the field with a pump shotgun against somebody who had a tricked out Polar Star or a gun that has a MOSFET in it. It's just not the same equipment. We're not playing with the same thing. So the variable isn't necessarily the person using it as much as the equipment that they're given to use. So, and if you look at any sport, that's why they have standardized equipment, to make the variable the athlete themselves and their personal athletic ability. And the last one, my third one, is the field size. A football field is going to be 100 yards unless you're in Canada and you're all screwed up and you guys added space to it. Hell, I don't know. Soccer fields are all pretty standard. Baseball fields are standard. Tennis courts are standard. All these sports have standardized fields of play. A basketball court, for the most part, is a standard size. So, probably the biggest argument, if you're going to wrap it up, is just the standardization, if you will, is what really makes a sport rather than a hobby. And again, I don't say this in a bad way because I enjoy airsoft very much. In fact, I'm going on vacation with my family and I'm thinking about ways how I can squeeze in airsoft while I'm on vacation, which is probably crazy to a lot of people. But it's fun, but I don't think it's quite reached the level of sport. I still think that we're in a hobby, and that's okay, and that's good because it does allow us, because we are in that hobby phase, for all kinds of people to enjoy the sport in many different ways, ways that they enjoy. Personally, I'm not the biggest Speedsoft fan, but some people are, and they really have fun doing it. And vice versa. Some people, they don't want to go out and camp for 40 straight hours in the woods and play airsoft that way. They want to go, they want to get their fix, and they want to get home. So because of that, it's a great hobby for us because it really allows itself to be enjoyed by the most amount of people. So anyway, that's my quick vlog here with my 2 cents on the matter. I'd really like to hear what you have to say on it. Please feel free to throw some comments down below and let's start a healthy discussion. And just a heads up, I am going on vacation, so it may be a few weeks before you see anything updated here on the YouTube, or I might just go through and maybe chop up some of the old gameplay footage that I've got sitting around in the hard drive to give you guys something to look at. Anyway, as always, thank you for the support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.